Hey, I'm Jeff, and I make music with my brother.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I also make music with my brother.
Together, we are Ekko and Sidetrack, and we make music that sounds like this.
And this.
And even this. This podcast is about music, creativity, and everything in between.
Welcome to A Band Apart with Ekko and Sidetrack. You just told me that you were doing the most putrid farts in the world, and I thought it would be a good way to start this 15-minute podcast.
Way to throw me under the bus on a short one. I'm hungover, Jonathan, and it's been a long time since I've been hungover on a Friday morning. But, yeah, I went out with some mates last night who were... One of our friends has just got divorced. His divorce finally went through.
Oh, really?
Yep. And
what a thing to celebrate.
Yeah, he's celebrating, and his new partner...
She was there?
No, she sent some wine to the restaurant, and that was our second bottle of wine after the champagne. And then we proceeded to drink another 3 and beer, and then we ordered some old fashions. We had some beer, and then we ate as well. But yes, many funny conversations, lots of funny laughs.
That's good.
Funny bets as well. You know, we talked a lot about the goings on in the world.
Political.
All sorts of things. And it's really good just to be social and amid this climate of fear and everything, just to kind of go out and be like, fuck it. And get pretty drunk and pretty festive and laugh a lot. Josh McGinnity is a funny man.
He is a funny man.
He's such a funny little fucker.
I think that the yearning to let your hair down is strong at the moment.
It is. One thing that did come up is the Rottnest swim. Someone said they wanted to do the Rottnest swim. They've done it as a team and they'd like to do it as solo.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get that. I don't have that yearning to swim to that island. And like the other person was saying, it's like, you know, a sense of achievement. Like, it's just something I wanted to have done. And Josh said, yeah, I kind of like the idea. I've paddled, like, you know, with people that were swimming. I'd like the idea of doing it, but I'm so fucking afraid of sharks that I'd never do it.
Fuck yeah.
And I would just, and then also on the day, the weather can be against you. Recently we had Holly knew some people that didn't finish because the most recent Rottnest swim, the weather was so bad. And like if the current's bad, you can go like 100 meters that way and 30 meters that way. And it just meanwhile you're trying to go that way.
It's a crazy endeavour to try to achieve. For those who don't know, Rottnest is an island off Perth.
About a good 20 kilometres.
Yeah, 22 kilometres.
Depending on where you're going from.
But the Rottnest swimmers, you swim from Perth, from the beach to Rottnest. And usually you do it in teams and there's support boats. But people do it
it's like
by themselves.
Yeah, and
regularly. And
it's like a...
Swimming 1,000 metres is really fucking quite challenging. Let alone 22 of them.
But in
open water.
Open water, man, is a completely different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a fucking... swam to Cuba and back. When the undertow grabs you,
but
it cakes you down.
Open water, you just go out by the breakers and you'll get moved around by the current.
Fucking oath. Let alone trying to fight the current.
And then also, man, just like you're swimming in like deep,
inky black water.
Yeah, deep water. It's not like the back of Rotto deep, but it's deep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a depth gauge on that.
Just like doing this and then looking down, everything's blurry, you're fucking tired. All it needs is a fucking natural torpedo to come up and bite you in half.
Yeah.
That's what happened to the guy in Sydney. The guy was swimming just like out by the kind of rocks on the edge of one of the Sydney beaches and he just got bitten in half.
Did you watch the footage?
Yeah, Tom showed me at the gym.
I don't need to see that shit. Someone tried to like, I've got the footage. I'm like, I don't yearn.
I had a pump. I was confused. I don't know why I was.
Yet again, it's another thing I do not yearn for. I don't need to swim to fucking islands, and I don't need to watch people die. Or I don't even really like people being hurt in videos. Like, check out this like mad train crash.
Did you see the thing?
The furthest I go is people like mistakes where people don't die. You know that one where the guy parks on the hill and he opens the back of his car and he's unloading to he's moving house and then the car starts moving.
See, those
and then
freak me out.
Jumps in.
Those freak me out
more. They freak the shit out of me. But at least I know. I mean, that guy could have died for sure. But I don't need to. Don't show me a video and be like, this person's dead.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's faces of death shit.
I haven't done that in a while, and I think I don't know, morbid curiosity got the best of me. But afterwards, I watched it and I was like sad.
Oh yeah.
And like death bothers me much more now. And it's not that it didn't bother me before, but like as I've gotten older, watching that kind of stuff bothers me more. And I think it's because more younger people and little people have come into my life, and I've recognized that life is a bit more fragile, and what if something happened to them, and I can kind of care a bit more. So it's you're not as dissociated from it.
Mm.
Did you see the video of the guy jumping from a balcony and tries to get over two glass
into the pool?
Glass dividers into the pool and smashes his head? Tom Segura posted it.
I didn't, but I've seen that kind of caper before. The guy like it's like he's in a hotel pool and he jumps through a window. It's like in theory, at the best, you're gonna be a cool guy. You're gonna be like people. Man, that was cool. But you're not. You're not even that. You don't get any extra cool. You get a few extra cool points, but it's not really that crazy.
The negatives,
it's so risky.
The negatives outweigh the positives by about 1 billion.
And like a lot of the people that are trying these things are not as athletic as I'd like them to be to try those things. Like people like, you see people like going on the swings.
Yeah.
And like everyone wants to be a mad dog and do a million flips off it because, there's always one hell man or hell woman.
Yeah.
And then the next person gives it a go and then they just don't have the same timing. They let go at the wrong point and all of a sudden they're like face down in the mud on the shore.
But I like seeing people who, because we have this disconnect between what we can do physically and what we can do mentally.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks like, I reckon I could jump over that gap, or I reckon I've got the ability to do this. And I love seeing people who clearly are not athletically skilled.
Sound.
Or not even, they haven't tested their vertical leap.
They don't even know what the fuck a vertical leap is like.
And
they're like, I could jump that.
Yeah, and then they do it and they fuck themselves up. There's a great video of a guy like trying to jump over a canal.
Oof.
And he falls into the canal, which is quite humorous.
My favorite kinds of videos are videos where what a ridiculous podcast. We're describing things that you people can't see as you watch us.
We can just play them on a loop in the background here.
That video that you sent me a message to get the other day where there's that kid, he looks maybe he's Indian or Sri Lankan, and he's like recording a video with his friends, and he's like kind of dancing. He's like trying to.
He's going like this.
He's trying to be a fucking cool guy, and then he like falls backwards, and then he just like slips into the water down into the ocean.
But it's like there's a half set of stairs.
Yeah.
That's on the edge of the ocean. And he's like it's like he's making a little video for his girlfriend, being like, "Well, baby, I love you so much," and doing something like this, and then like loses his footing and fucking falls like a good 2 meters onto what I assume is like the bottom of the stair, and then waves start to crash on top of it.
Yeah, but it's like he does the classic thing of like he starts losing his footing, then he turns around.
Yeah.
To try and like, as is human instinct, to try and gather balance, but then that gives him more momentum to fall. And it's just, again, a perfect 20-second video or less. It's like the monkey grabbing the dog's tail.
Yeah, that's a great internet video.
It's a perfect piece of video.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want like a...
Less than 30 seconds, humorous, no one dies.
You want 7 seconds. You want
story.
Identify the what the possible issue is, and then the issue to happen, and then it cuts. And you're like, I have no idea what came after it,
Yeah.
but I know that that person is not dead.
Out of context.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing Scott posted of the black guy with the snake around his neck? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is cool. Oh, it's tight. Chris! Just like, that's perfect
Yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah.
I think that was the magic of Vine. Remember Vine?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
that's some
20-second stories.
Less.
Oh, like 10-second stories.
I think it was like 7, maybe. I don't know.
Another one I've enjoyed, that I think Scott posted again, is
Shout out to Scott.
I think it's maybe somewhere in China, and two guys are like just standing on the road. Maybe it's security footage or footage from within a shop,
Yeah.
and they're just standing there, and then suddenly a bull runs through the window, breaks the glass, and hits one of the guys.
Well, that is ultimate. That guy's just trying to do some comments like, what cigarettes am I going to buy? Did I need to get juice?
But like,
Oh my God, a bull. That's like a family guy.
I don't know how, like,
Same.
if it's like a rural area, it kind of looks like a city area, and that's the last thing you're going to think is going to come through a fucking window
Yeah.
when you're buying some cigarettes or just doing some shopping casually. Like, thinking about what you're going to buy. A fucking bull.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's the best thing to come out of the internet, I think.
What, humorous videos?
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Showing us all that we all get into silly situations, we all make mistakes, and we all laugh, and we all find them kind of funny.
I don't reckon that guy's laughing. I reckon he's been gorged by a bull. Is
I
it
hope-
gored or gorged?
Gorged. I hope he didn't get gorged. He looks like he just got hit. It might be more of a bull cow rather than like a sharp horned bull.
Either way, it was too big an animal to be in a convenience store.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you'd like to share?
No. I'm going to go have some wine with my friends tonight. So
Good.
I hope laughter and humorous stories can happen.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
absolutely. You get a little bit more space when you're socializing with others. And I think people at the moment have not been socializing much.
I don't think we've been socializing much.
Yeah. And it's nice to get just not be in your issues. Be
Absolutely.
they good or bad. You just like, that's the importance of being social, because you're not just like running your own little loop and your routine and stuff, and you get to chance to break it and do something else.
Absolutely. Breaks are so important. A space. Getting out, because otherwise you just feel like you're constantly underneath whatever thing you feel like you're holding up.
Yeah, and then when you have a break, maybe you realize that you don't need to hold it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Where'd you go for dinner?
We went to Tiny's, which is a place in the city. It was good food, but so quiet, man. They would have done like 20 covers,
Whoa.
and we would have accounted for 5 of them. Like, Perth is very, very quiet, and as one of the guys pointed out, it's not just COVID anymore. You've also got the rising petrol price, which drives the price hike in almost everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Inflation.
no, it's
Well,
not
like,
just
sorry, it's not inflation, but it like, yeah.
It justifies extra costs. One of the guys is a builder, and he was saying that when the railroad went down, because there was floods in South Australia, and there was going to be a month lead time to rebuild it, so they were starting to get, so Perth, WA could start getting stuff on trains again. With building companies that literally got ships and started shipping stuff from the eastern states over to Perth. And that takes a long time. But that was the only option. So the cost of goods went up because all of a sudden it was being shipped rather than put on a train.
And it goes all the way from the top down.
Yeah. And then he was talking about the cost of a sea container from China. Used to be, I don't know the exact numbers, but let's just say, used to be $3,000, and then a bigger one was $6,000. now it's 13 and 20.
Fuck.
There's been more than a few stories about building companies. This is because this was the chat going on because they're builders and guys in that industry. Two things: building companies getting a lot of money put into them by private investors because otherwise they'll go under. Because I've said I can build you a home for $500,000. That home now costs $660,000. My margin was this much. Now my margin is nothing and I'd have no money. And I'm a big building company. And I'm fucked. So it's labor costs, materials, everything. Everyone at that dinner table had a, like, things are kind of shit at the moment story. And it was, in a weird way, reassuring because it's like, because everyone's being fed through the grinder. But it was also kind of scary because it was like, oh man, everyone's being fed through the grinder.
So did you feel better or did you feel worse? Because you could tell your grinder story and everyone could
and
empathize with it.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's not like you're at a party where everyone's having fun and you're like, I just got broken up with, and everyone's like, it's all right, man.
It's like
you're at a party with everyone that got broken up with, and everyone's like, man, that's tough. Like, yeah, this is my story, and everyone's console each other. It was nice. To finish on a high note, though, one of my friends bought a baby grand piano.
What a good move.
And he's learning to play the piano.
Sick.
Yeah, so he's like starting and...
Is it Joshy?
No, it's not.
I would want Josh to.
But yeah, it's like learning music and everything like that. And I was like, man, that's so good. Like, once you start getting into it more and understanding, you know, a bit of the mechanics of the notes, you'll start to have fun with it and not be so rigid. Because that's my knowledge of a piano, is just to hammer things and use your ears. And I'll be like, and then all of a sudden you'll hear the dissonance of playing C sharp together there, but then separated by an octave or 2 octaves.
It could be beautiful.
And it's all of a sudden you got a thing, and then you want to add another note, and then you're like, ooh, what's that? And I go, and a piano is so lovely, particularly a big one, to sit down and do that. And he goes, I love getting some wine, putting the wine there, and just sitting there and like doing things. And I was like, that's gorgeous.
I've thoroughly enjoyed doing that exact thing with our piano at home, and putting on the release pedal.
Shut the front door.
And you can just basically play anything, and it sounds like fucking sorrowful, romantic
you
music.
feel like fucking John Hopkins.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very therapeutic. Jeff, we've gone over our time, but that's good. Thank you very much.
No worries.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for the conversation.
And thanks for listening, guys. This is a short podcast because we do have a million other things to do. Life is busy in the world of Ekko and Sidetrack at the moment.
It is.
And we're working hard to prioritize things and not get overwhelmed or swamped, whatever kind of adjective you want to use, or fall down the stairs into the ocean onto cement.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I fucking hope not. Imagine a bull just came in now.
That would be very unexpected.
How did he even get up the stairs?
See you, everybody.
See you, bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. We are Ekko and Sidetrack on all social media. We've recently updated our YouTube. Go and give that a subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the latest video podcasts. And follow us on Spotify too so you can keep up to date with all our latest music releases. Big up.